So we're back with Model A, and I mentioned in a previous video that it's been overheating. So I did some searching, some researching, contacted the company that rebuilt the engine, and they have some recommendations. So let me walk you through what they told me. On these old Model A's, it's a very rudimentary cooling system. It doesn't bypass the cooling system to go into the cabin for cabin heat. That's self-generated. Look, you got body heat in there in the wintertime. You got some 260 air conditioning, 2 windows, 60 miles an hour, but you actually get a third one, so woohoo. But it's very basic. Your hot water comes up, hits the radiator, gets cooled, and then goes back into the engine. Very, very simple, but they're finicky. And unlike some modern cars, and most modern cars have a thermostat. There is no thermostat inside this housing. And a lot of the diehard purists will say that a modern radiator just isn't enough. There's not enough density, there's not enough retention of the water in the system to cool it down. So we can retrofit a thermostat in there. But the other thing they talk about is the issues with maybe some rust buildup or some particulate buildup. If this thing sat for a while, who knows? If a hose was open, a critter could have gotten in there and dropped some shells or some nuts. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to backflush the radiator, and we're going to backflush the engine. And so we're going to put together an attachment, and we're going to run water down in, and it's going to come out that way. So anything that's in the engine that might be stuck in a passage going this way is actually going to get backflushed and pushed out. It'll drop down the drip pan here and out underneath the car. I've already drained all the coolant out, so don't worry, I'm not getting coolant on the ground. I do have dogs, or a dog, and lots of wild animals around me. I don't want to hurt them. So we're going to backflush the engine. We're also going to backflush the radiator. So normally your heating cycle, hot air up or hot water up, cools, drops, goes back into the engine. We will backflush through the radiator, push up, and we'll catch it into a 5-gallon bucket here. All right, let me show you what we're going to do. This is relatively simple. Trip to Home Depot, 15 bucks in parts, and you've got everything you should need. You got your garden hose already, right? And bring it out. But then you have an 1.5-inch PVC pipe with a cap on the end, a 5/8 nipple metal mender, so basically a replacement. So if you cut your hose springs a leak, you cut off the piece of it, and you can stick this in the end of it and clamp it down, and it will replace the end of your hose. Well, if I drill a hole in the cap of that pipe, I can shove that in there, put some JB weld on it, and then hook the two of these together with a shutoff valve, and now I have a completely operational and easily controllable way to run water back up into the engine, because then I can take that 1.5-inch pipe and shove it into either this or that. All right, let's put this together. So I'm going to take my handy dandy stepper tool, and you can see I painted a mark on here. Basically, I wanted to get to the same width or a little bit less than the brass nipple on here, and so these are all set up for steps. I'll compare it, and basically I know that once I get to the purple mark on the step, then I don't need to go any further. That's just my little trick, and don't worry, wipes off with just a little bit of mineral spirits and it goes away. So you can use that to mark how deep you need to go. But I like these steppers. All right, and since it's a thick cap, I'm actually going to step it in from the inside too. Not perfectly centered, but hey, this is construction work, right? Now I'm going to take the nipple and I'll put it in there, and I'm going to put some JB Weld around it just so it stays and it doesn't leak. Then we take our shutoff valve, easily thread our shutoff valve in there while our JB Weld's hardening. Get a nice good seal in there. All right, there's half your device right there. Now we're going to take and just glue the other end on with some PVC glue. All right, here's what I've set up to start. And take that 1.5 inch PVC hose, and I've drained all the coolant out. You can see I have the lower engine hose off, and I'm feeding in through the top. So I'm going to back flush, open the valve, and pump it all through. We're just going to let it run for a little bit. See how this works. There we go. Like I said, this doesn't have any coolant in it. It might have a little coolant from the passages, but basically we're just going to back flush and push everything out through the engine that we can with a garden hose. We're going to let it run for a minute or two. Let's see if that helps. All right, so this time I've plumbed it into the bottom radiator hose, and it's going to come out the top radiator hose, and I'm going to try and see if I can catch. This is a new radiator. It really doesn't have any runtime on it. I just want to see if there's junk that maybe got in it, a critter got in there. I've seen some crazy videos where brand new radiators have, you know, somehow a critter got in there and shipping, and it's stuck and it's blocking a passage. You know, piece of a mouse or something like that. Who knows? Well, we'll see what we'll catch in the 5-gallon bucket here. Yeah, you can see I'm getting a little junk in there. It's a little rusty. That might be from the engine. We're just going to run it a few times and hopefully it'll come clear. There's a second bucket. I had a couple big chunks in there. Who knows? Maybe they just broke loose. All right, so after 8 buckets, you can see I've got a little tiny bit of sediment there in the bottom, swirling around in one of those little chunks of something. But that's what I'm getting right now, is maybe 1 or 2 little pieces of something, which really isn't all that bad considering it's a 100-ish-year-old motor, almost 100 years old. Now, I did say it's been rebuilt, but that means it's a couple of cylinders have been sleeved, the head's been decked. You know, it's just been given a new lease on life. But what they don't do is go in and clean out all the passages. Just a recommendation: under this cloth is your dipstick tube down there. There's no seal around that, so just put something over there so that all the water is not going to run right down that dipstick tube, please. You don't want to end up with water in your engine. All right, then I reattach the lower radiator hose, and now I just need to reattach the upper, but I'm not going to do that yet because I'm going to put thermostat in here. That's due in this evening. Now, I've had some people say, well, if you know, you might have a blown head gasket. Here's a couple reasons I don't think I have a blown head gasket. One is the coolant that was in it, even when it was running hot and overheating, didn't show any signs of oil. There's no oil, there's no milk, there's no sludge, it's just coolant. The other thing is the actual oil. That is clean as can be, folks. There's no milkshake in there, anything. After I'm all said and done with this, I'll probably do another oil change, you know, Mobil 1 10W30, keep it happy. But I don't think there's any need to believe that I have a blown head gasket. I'm going to adjust timing, put thermostat on, see where we go from there. Well, here we are, we're home. This is a pretty cool car, guys. It needs a little work. It's, you know, needs the new headliner and trim pieces reattached, you know, some door trim put back on, but I have all of that. I've got all the parts, I've got all the pieces. You know, some stuff on the dash needs to be put back on, but you know what? That doesn't keep it from being an enjoyable car. This thing is pretty cool, has some pretty neat features. So like any Model A, it's very rudimentary. Key on and off. It doesn't have the push button, the push release key. So I think this has been replaced at some point. Gas gauge is up there, ammeter, and our speedometer / odometer. This is a gas enrichment valve. Most of the time you want to keep that closed and choke. There's the accelerator pedal down here on the floor. Way up here, up there, you can see the starter button and kill switch that's been added. Park brake, forward is off. And our stick shift, no automatic here, guys. This is really easy. It's reverse is actually your up. It's a standard H pattern though. Reverse is up. 1, 2, and 3. Just keep it in first. Then the steering wheel, we have our horn. I gotta hook that back up. Make sure that works. I don't think that's working right now. Nope. Turn the kill switch, don't get anything. Nope. Let's get that old Auga horn working. All right, and then we have a throttle control, and you can probably see as I pull this down, it'll pull down the gas pedal. You see that move? Okay, that helps with starting. And then this is your timing advance. So all the way up is like 4 or 5 degrees below top dead center. And then you can kind of work it down through the notches. There's little notch feels on it. And you adjust it based on your driving. And you have turn signal and headlight controls. I think it's actually just headlight controls. No turn signals. Well, turn signals are, I'm gonna go left and I'm gonna go right. All right, I might be stopping. What do you think? Are you ready for some fun? Put it back together, get it where she needs to be. We're gonna enjoy this thing. It's gonna be a weekend cruiser. Maybe go out one night and get some ice cream and, you know, just have some fun. It's got some wrinkles to work out, but hey, it's a 1930. This is 2023. We're just 7 years shy of this thing's 100th birthday. I think it's in amazing shape for 100 years old. Guys, stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot more in this Model A restore and enjoyment. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, recommendations, I've been watching a lot of Paul Shim's videos and a lot of the other videos online, learning a lot about these Model A's even before I made the purchase. So if you have any thoughts, please share them with me. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, clean the carb up and got it back on, and it runs a little bit smoother. I just don't have the throttle response that I want. I'm gonna keep playing with that. It might be a leak in that gasket, so I'm gonna fire it back up in a few, it might be tomorrow. I gotta get ready to go to a baseball game for one of the boys, but I gotta figure out what's going on. I did order a rebuild kit for it. This is a Tolleson XF carburetor, so it's hard to find the rebuilds for it. So we're gonna keep working. A little progress at a time. We'll see what we can do. Please stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe. Hey, apologize for the tent, but it's hot out here. The sun gets out and it gets hot. I don't feel like cooking myself. All right, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.